Okay, fellas, listen up. You do not have to spend a lot of money to smell good. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my designer fragrances. I love my niche fragrances. I love my high-end designer fragrances just as much as the next person. But don't ever get it twisted. You do not have to spend a lot of money to get positive attention, to receive compliments, and most importantly, you don't have to spend a lot of money to smell nice. So the amount you spend does not always have a direct correlation of how good you will or won't smell. And I have 10 fragrances from Alexandria that prove exactly that. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Ty, and here I primarily talk about fragrances, but also sprinkling some fashion and lifestyle content as well. So primary purpose is to help you show up as your best self every day by looking good, smelling good, and of course, feeling good. Y'all know the vibes, man. If you're interested in those type of videos or that type of content, please do me a favor, consider subscribing below, then make sure you hit the bell so you can stay notified anytime I post any new content. Now, for those of you that may be new to the channel, or if you just aren't familiar with Alexandria Fragrances, essentially they're a fragrance house that does have their own original creations. However, I'd say they're most known for their clone or inspired by or their dupe fragrances, right? And in my humble opinion, they do an amazing job when it comes to having an affordable price, but still getting, quality fragrances that smell close to the original and overall just smell really amazing. A few of my favorite are 1981X, that is inspired by Xerjoff Naxos. Also have Afternoon Splash, that is inspired by Louis Vuitton's Afternoon Swim. And then lastly, we have, okay, y'all, before we jump into the actual fragrances, let's take a brief look at the presentation and check this out, man. Just get a really, really clean presentation here. I think this is, super well put together. And again, this is from their sample set that you can purchase directly from their website. And with that, essentially, you get to select 10 fragrances of your choice. So any fragrance that they have or that they offer, you get to pick. And each one is 5 milliliters. So 10 5 milliliter samples for $60. I think that's an amazing value. But on top of that, I happen to order whenever they're running a sale. So I think I saved an additional 20 or 25%, which made it only that much sweeter. And of course, in addition to that, in true Alexandria fashion, they did also send over 2 free samples as well. So just very appreciative of when a company not only puts out quality products, but also has nice presentation and just really goes above and beyond in terms of satisfying the customers. Getting things kicked off with Africano, and this is inspired by Byredo's Bal Freak. I've never smelled the original, y'all, but what you get here is a really nice citrus in the opening, and then you also get powdery floral feel as it starts to dry down, before also getting some woodiness to help mellow and kind of balance things out a bit. But again, really nice. More than anything, you get that citrus and really powdery, sweet floral. Plays really well together. And like I said, I've never smelled the original, y'all, but this smells so good it makes me want to check out the original just to see, if there are possibly, any differences or any nuances with that one that I maybe enjoy more. But nonetheless, y'all, Africano is one that smells amazing. Definitely can be worn year-round as sort of a signature scent, but me personally, I probably would reach for this most in the warmer weather. We have Brasilia Cologne, and this is inspired by Creed's Aventus Cologne. Fresh, clean, easy to wear, versatile signature scent. No bad time to smell like something like this. Y'all, they did a really good job. Like I said, I have a decant of the original. This one is very, very close. You get the fruitiness from that pineapple and the citruses in the opening, then get some of the ginger as it dries down before getting the different woody components and a slight sweetness as it, fully dries down. But all in all, y'all, this smells amazing. And if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Creed's Aventus Cologne, of course you can go for something like Versace's Eros Energy. That is another good one, but I think this one here, y'all, is very, very close in terms of the DNA, a little closer than Eros Energy, and overall just smells amazing. Okay, y'all, next up on the list, we have City of Angels, and this is inspired by Louis Vuitton's City of Stars, which is all about this citrus and powdery floral notes. So you get bergamot, you get lemon, you get lime, you get blood orange, all balanced out nicely by this tiare flower note, which is a really powdery, sort of sweet floral. Really helps balance things out, man. This one smells amazing, can be worn year-round. But again, one I would probably reach for most in probably spring, summer, that warmer weather, but probably would like to reach for it as well in the fall. So again, if you're interested in Louis Vuitton's City of Stars, y'all, you might want to check this one out. Okay, y'all, next up we got Cali Love. So we're going back to back with it. Another Louis Vuitton fragrance. This is inspired by Louis Vuitton's California Dream. You get this fruitiness from mandarin orange and pear, but then you get this warmth and depth as it dries down, right? You get, some musky notes, but then you also get sort of I'd say sweetness that comes from maybe like a benzoin or vanilla. Nonetheless, it's not too much there. It's balanced out nicely, so it's fresh, slightly sweet, very wearable. I think this is one that you can wear year round. I will say this one though, it is a little bit rough in the opening. Takes about 10 minutes for it to really settle down. Like I said, that first 10 minutes is a little sharp, but after that, you're good to go. Like I said, this one smells really good, and it kind of puts me in the mind of something like Le Labo's Another 13, right? But maybe with a little more fruitiness and just a bit more freshness. So all in all, smells good. And if you enjoy Louis Vuitton's California Dream, you might want to check this one out. Next up, we have Fire of God. And if you haven't guessed, this one is inspired by God of Fire. So never smelled the original, but for me, what I get with this one is a immediate punch of tropical fruitiness. Most specifically, this mango note that just really stands out and smells great, right? Especially because I don't have many fragrances in my collection that have a note of mango. It's very noticeable. And as it dries down, you get some woody notes. You get, some warmth from amber, I think, and a little bit of vanilla. But all in all, the star of the show is that mango, and this one smells amazing. Okay, y'all, next up on the list, we have Musk Remedy, which is inspired by Initio's Musk Therapy. And this is just a very simple but beautiful citrus, floral, musky fragrance that just smells great. And it really makes me think of a crisp white t-shirt or a crisp white collared shirt in a warm summer breeze. I don't know why, but it's just like the quintessential, white tea approved fragrance. So smells really clean, really light, really airy. Definitely one that works best in a warmer weather. And I do have a decant of the original and can say this one is very close. So if you're interested in Initio's Musk Therapy, get your nose on this one. Okay, next up we have Orchestra, which is inspired by another Louis Vuitton fragrance. We have Louis Vuitton Symphony. This is one I did smell in the Louis Vuitton store, and it smells great, but it's very simplistic, and it's all about citruses, right? So you get bergamot, you get some orange, I believe grapefruit, and then maybe some ginger. So very simplistic, but I have to say very realistic smelling citrus fragrance, and one that definitely smelled high quality. However, for the price point, one that I just wouldn't look to pick up. So instead, I think, having Orchestra here, I'm not going to say it's as high quality smelling or as natural smelling or, realistic smelling with the citruses, but it gives me the same essence. And that's really what it's about for me with, fragrances that are clones or dupes. Does it put you in the same mindset, give you the same feeling, and kind of bring you back to that same place? And this one does that for me. So if you're someone that's also interested in Symphony by Louis Vuitton, you might want to check out Orchestra. A few remaining, and the next one up is Pacific Coast, which is inspired by Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. So we got another LV fragrance here, y'all, and it's really based on previous videos that I put out with Alexandria Fragrances, talking about some of the different scents that they have. A lot of people commented and said they wanted to see and hear more about other Louis Vuitton inspired fragrances from the brand, so I got y'all, man. But essentially what you get with this one, similar to the original, which smells great. I smelled that in a Louis Vuitton store, by the way. Really puts me in the mind of being on a beach or being near an ocean, seeing the sand, but getting that ocean breeze and, having in front of you just a bowl of fresh, juicy fruit, a medley of fruit, no fruit in specific, but, think peaches, mangoes, strawberries, different things like that. And then you also have an aromatic touch with, a little bit of mint as well in here. And it just smells great. And one that, like I said, for me specifically, of course, warm weather, I think this one works well. But even more specific than that, this is one of my favorite DNAs when I think of like traveling or for a tropical or maybe beach vacation specifically. So if you're someone like me who does enjoy Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton, but maybe you want to save a little money, check out Pacific Coast, y'all. Okay, y'all, just a couple remaining. And next up, we have Peace of Mind, which is inspired by Bond No. 9's Scent of Peace for Homme. Again, a fragrance that you can't find on discounters for a good price anymore, or really hardly on discounters at all. So it's great to have an alternative like this. A lot of people say this smells similar to Creed Aventus, and I would agree, but I think the main difference is the juniper berry that you get in here. So I think it gives it a bit of a sharper, sweeter, almost fizzier sort of feeling that you get with this one, and it just smells great. It's one that is super versatile, so can wear it year round. Never a bad time to smell like this. And honestly, I'd say between this and also Joe Milano's Game of Spades Boston, two amazing alternatives for Bond Number 9's scented piece. Y'all, last but not least, we have White Zest, which is inspired by Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. So, really great fragrance, one that is known for that fresh, slightly warm and creamy sweetness. So, and in the opening, you definitely get, some citruses, most prominently lemon. And then as this one dries down, you get that sandalwood, sort of vanilla tonka blend that really smells great. Like I say, it gives you that unique blend of fresh, but also warm and sweet as well. Again, needless to say, this one can be worn year round, and cost savings aren't as big here, of course, because Chanel is, on the designer side, but you rarely see Chanel fragrances go on sale or, can find them at discounters. So I think this is still a solid option. And not to mention, many people complain about performance with the original. I've never had that issue, but if you're someone that has, might want to check out White Zest, because I think it could be a great alternative for you. Okay, y'all, that's going to wrap up today's review. So that's 10 fragrances from Alexandria that smell absolutely amazing and can help you save some money while still smelling great. As always, do me a favor, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've tried any of these out. If so, what your favorites might be. And of course, as always, until next time, peace and love.